Hello, Miriam at the Bureau with a weather update video. An early heads up about a strong, powerful and windy cold front that is expected to move across southeastern Australia between Sunday and Tuesday next week. Now at the moment we're seeing mostly dry conditions across the southeastern states until this rain moves in from New South Wales. It's likely to affect eastern Victoria and eventually parts of Tasmania as well, but the rainfall totals through those areas are likely to be much lower than what we've recently seen in New South Wales. A weak low pressure trough will move through on Saturday, bringing a few more showers, but in general, we are expecting to see mostly settled conditions returning through the early part of the weekend. It's this cold front here that we really want to keep an eye on. It'll be approaching across the Great Australian Bight during the early part of Sunday. It's expected to continue approaching and then cross the South Australian coast during Sunday afternoon or evening. Showers will start to develop ahead of the front, a band of rain will move through with the front itself, and then we'll see further widespread showers, hail and thunderstorms behind the system. It'll move through Victoria and Tasmania on Monday and then push towards the New South Wales coast late Monday into Tuesday. It'll eventually move offshore through the later part of Tuesday with a return to much more isolated showers across southeastern Australia, but by this time very cold air will have moved in. You can see the winds coming directly from the south here, bringing all of that icy winter air up. Now, the weather element that we're really concerned about with this system is the winds that it might bring and that potential for damaging wind gusts. It's going to be the first really windy cold front of the season, and that brings a greater potential for damage to trees, tree limbs and buildings. To take a look at those winds, we're going to look above the surface, about 1.5 kilometres above the surface in fact. This will give us a good indication of how strong those top wind gusts might be associated with the frontal system. Now, fairly moderate winds across the southeast early Sunday, but we'll see them really starting to ramp up during the afternoon and evening as this system approaches. They're northwesterly winds ahead of the front, so coming from the northwest, moving to the southeast. They'll be mostly dry and fairly mild, and they may pick up some raised dust and bring it through parts of South Australia and Victoria as they pull down towards the southeast. Now, as this front crosses the coast, we're going to see those wind speeds really ramping up. It will be widespread, strong and gusty winds with the potential for damaging wind gusts developing as well. Now, that may impact parts of southern and southeast South Australia, parts of southern and central Victoria as well, through that later part of Sunday and into early Monday. That includes the Adelaide area and Melbourne through that period. As we continue through Monday, we're going to see that front sweeping across Victoria and Tasmania. It's worth noting that the winds behind the front are also very strong. We've got the strong northwesterlies ahead of the front, shifting westerly, then southerly, but pulling in that high wind strength behind that system as well. That means the windy conditions are likely to persist with showers and possible thunderstorms in the wake of this system going through Monday and into Tuesday as well. Now, as the system crosses the New South Wales coast, we'll see strong winds redeveloping there too, before it eventually moves offshore later on Tuesday, and some easier winds finally return to the southeast. Now, the exact location of where damaging winds might occur remains a little uncertain. It will depend on how quickly this cold front moves through and how much of that potential above the surface it can pull down towards the ground. Across the weekend, it is likely that we'll see severe weather warnings issued for damaging winds, so keep an eye on those across the next 3 days. The other thing this front is going to do is bring in a burst of colder air in its wake. That means the snow level will be dropping. The coldest air is likely to move through on Monday, particularly later on Monday, which means we'll see the snow level probably dropping down to around 1,200 metres or so for Victoria, down to around 700 metres for Tasmania. Again, how quickly that cold air moves in and how low that snow level might get will depend on how this system develops and moves through. In terms of our rainfall totals, we are looking at some moderate falls possible throughout parts of New South Wales, eastern Victoria and Tasmania. Now, some of that may fall as snow through those more elevated areas. We could see a good sprinkling across the ground about our alpine areas of eastern Victoria, southeast New South Wales and Tasmania. For Western Victoria and southeast South Australia, unfortunately, the totals for precipitation are much lower. We could see some moderate falls about the coast, but moving inland, those totals are really going to drop right off. Once again though, it's the wind that we're really concerned with, more so than the rain or snow impacts with this system. The wind is going to be considerable through that Sunday to Tuesday period, so it is essential to keep an eye out for all the forecast and warning updates over the coming days. You can find them on the Bureau's website, via the Bomb Weather app and via our social media. Have a good day and we'll catch you next time.